Big Ten Media Days yesterday. Your head coach was at the podium, and a lot came out of a Tom Izzo interview. As always, he had one moment, apparently, I think Isaac Trotter called this out, where some reporter referred to Michigan as won the Big Ten last year, and
Hmm.
he like cut him off. Was like, they didn't win the Big Ten. They won the Big Ten tournament. That's not the Big Ten. And just special, also true, very accurate from Tom. But I was laughing at that. One quote though that I want to get your serious thoughts on here. He was talking about the depth of last year's team. And we know a huge part of what made Michigan State so successful was that they went 10 deep and felt like the deepest team in the country. They always won that final 4 minutes of a game stretch. It felt like every single game. This year, it sounds like he wants to carry that over. This is what Tom Izzo said, quote, I think we're going to play 10 players again. It leads to a better locker room, and locker rooms are important in sports. End quote. In theory, I think he's right. In theory, if you can play everyone and your team is good and everyone's happy, that's incredible. But I also step back and I look at this roster cart and I am open to you disagreeing with this. We can talk it out. This roster ain't last year's roster. At least not to my eye. I don't see how you play 10 on this year's team. So, do you like this? Are you bought in on this and do you think it's going to happen?
Well, I think first and foremost, unbelievable read and quote that the locker room is important. It's where you change. It's where you go at halftime. Spend a lot of time. The locker room's a really great place. I must say, big locker room guy in my day. Um, Look, I think that Tom Izzo probably comes into every single year, no matter who is on his roster. He could have four guys on his roster. I think he would intend to play 10. Like that's kind of how he tries to go about things. I don't think you're wrong in saying because I kind of feel the same way. This isn't like I don't think the strength of our team is necessarily the depth. I think the strength of our team is leaning into guys like Fears and Cohen Carr and Kohler and the returners from last year. It's not necessarily the depth of the team. So, you know, I think maybe even if he has this intention to do so, I'd be interested to see what that looks like because, in my opinion, just looking at this Michigan State team, I think the strength of the team is whoever would be starting, maybe 6 to 7, possibly at max 8 deep. But outside of that, this doesn't scream 10 deep roster to me. No.
So, Michigan State's eighth guy last year was Frankie Fiddler. He played 16 minutes a game. Michigan State's ninth guy last year was in the starting lineup. That was Shimon Zapala. He played 14 minutes a game. Michigan State's 10th guy last year was Xavier Booker, UCLA's new starting center, who played 13 minutes a game. It wasn't that they played 10 that was unique or amazing or impressive. It was that the 10th guy was playing 13 minutes a game. That
Hmm.
doesn't happen anywhere. On the flip side, it wasn't just that. Michigan State's leading minutes per game guy was Jaden Akins. He played 27 minutes a game. Michigan State's second leading minutes a game guy was Jace Richardson, Orlando Magic's own, 25 minutes a game. You played two guys 25 or more minutes. Everybody else was below that mark. Nobody was above 27. So it was balance. It wasn't the quantity. It wasn't we're playing 10 guys. That's amazing. It was, oh my God, the 10th guy plays 12 less minutes than the leading guy. That's absurd and will probably never be replicated again anywhere. Now, I don't want to say it's never happened, and I don't mean to be doing this like I'm trying to steal the magic from you. One of the more recent teams that it happened on was Dusty May's Florida Atlantic team. He was playing John L. Davis like 26 minutes a game on the year they went to the Final Four and went 10 deep. So, like, it is a formula that can work when you have John L. Davis and Elijah Martin and Nick Boyd and Vlad Golden and a good bench. Like, you need to have a good bench to be able to actually do this. That's where I flip to talking about this year's team. Who do you project to be your starting lineup?
Fears, Fort, Carr, Kohler, Cooper.
Cool. That's mine too. If that's your starting lineup, by my estimation, your sixth man is Kurtang, who averaged 0 and 0 last year in 3 minutes a game, was the 11th guy. Your seventh guy is Divine Ugachukwu, in terms of like experience. Your eighth guy is Cam Ward, who I think is really good. Your ninth guy is Jordan Scott, who knows, might be good. Your 10th guy is Jesse McCulloch, who's never played a minute of college basketball and redshirted. Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Hmm. That's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy, love his wife, love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more.
Hmm.
Your 11th guy is Denim Wojcik. So, like, sure, okay, I'm going to play 10. All right, draw the line at McCulloch. There are 10 guys that could play. One of them is Divine Ukechukwu. One of them is Kurtang, who's actually in the starting lineup right now. 2 of them are freshmen. One of them's a red shirt that has, like, we have no idea. Either way, even if you're going to play 10, like, if you're playing whoever the bottom 3 are of that, let's say it's Ugachukwu, McCulloch, and one of the freshmen. If you're playing those 3 guys 12, 14, and 16 minutes this year, I don't think this team is very good.
Yeah.
Look,
Well, I don't think that we do.
you don't you don't think they do that.
No.
So you think him saying we play 10 guys is not we do last year's rotation.
Right. Or even if he intends yeah, okay, I guess to your point, even if he intends to play 10 guys, it's not going to be the balance that it was last year. Or it should not be. That's not the best version of Michigan State, in my opinion.
See, I think that's what he's saying he's going to do. I think that's what this means. It's like last year went so good, we're going to do that again. And like it worked because your 10th guy last year was pretty good. Like you had your 10th guy was a McDonald's All-American. And I know people hate Xavier Booker, but like for real, he was a good player. Like Kurtang was the 11th guy last year. He's the 6th guy this year.
On
It's
paper.
it's a different level of depth.
Yeah, this, like I said, Michigan State's strength is not depth.
So
I can
what
make
is
an,
the
but I could even make an argument last year. I didn't think Michigan State's strength was depth either.
Oh, I don't buy that argument at all.
Well, just because in my opinion, like the ninth, 10th, eighth guy was Sizemon Zapala.
You had 3 playable centers. You had Cohen Carr off the bench, who's now your superstar, I guess. You had 4 different really good high major guards. Like absolutely depth was the story of last year. They were the best bench in the country last year.
Well, because of how that. I mean, but that goes back to the whole minutes thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Michigan State could have just played guys like Jace and all those guys 20, 28 minutes a game, 30 minutes a game.
And you think the team would have been better if they did that? I actually don't buy that. I think last year
That's fair to say. That's
he
fair.
played it perfectly.
That's fair.
But okay. Well, then let's just keep it in this year's lens. Fast forward to March, the best case scenario season happened for Michigan State. How many players are in the rotation? And like, what's the top of the top minutes for guys?
I would say what's the cutoff of in the rotation?
Last year, Kurtang was out of the rotation, playing 3 minutes a game as the 11th guy.
So I think it'd be the starters I just said, and I would probably cut it off.
I mean, Fort and Tang are both going to be there, so that's six. Then you got the freshmen, you got Ugachukwu and McCullough.
I think it's gonna end up being Ward in there and Ugachukwu. It's probably eight.
But McCullough's got to play, right? He's going to be the backup five.
I think there's some way you could slide. I mean, I don't know. He could do some backup five, also need some tweak some things. I just don't think he's gonna play enough minutes to be considered in the rotation.
Like, if there was a guy that fell out of this to me, it would probably just be the freshman or one of the freshmen. Like Jordan Scott just falls out. I'm not saying that will happen.
I feel like Cam Ward can't be out of the rotation.
It sounds like he's good, but it also sounds like they're only working him behind Kohler. So I don't know what that does role wise, but I don't know. All right. So it's going to be deep then, it sounds like.
Can I do what I would do?
Yeah.
One, Caleb Glenn, I miss you, stink. Um, two, obviously you're gonna have to play. You can't play Carson Cooper and those guys like 30 minutes a game. Like that's obviously not gonna happen. Is this team gonna go 10 deep because they literally have to?
If it's because they have to, I don't think that's a good thing at all. The
Because I mean,
hope,
you gotta look. Let's look at it in the lens of if the let's divvy up minutes to the starters like it's actual starter minutes and not Tom Izzo starter minutes.
right.
Because if that happens, then I don't think that this obviously, given how many minutes are in a game, you're not gonna be able to go 10 deep.
I mean, I think the hope would be Fears and Carr and Kohler are also good. They're playing around 30.
That's where I'm at. I don't want to. I guess that's my point. I don't want to go 10 deep because if we're going 10 deep, then that means that our best players aren't playing major minutes.
Right.
And I think the strength of this team, to my point where I started, is that it's the returner guys, the guys that we want to play major minutes and produce.
True. Very true. All right. I guess we'll see. I mean, also maybe like in conclusion, maybe Cohen Carr just can't play more than 20. Maybe he's got a hard out for an appointment.
I hate my life.